Welcome to week 5. A couple of changes to my team. I have sacked the guys who had the niggling injuries and bought 2 more blitzers, which used every penny of my cash. And then I have sacked the orc thrower on the grounds that I want to score on these 2 and therefore pick up with these 2. And so the orc thrower is a luxury that I just don't want. I don't want him stealing the MVP, and I do not want him on the pitch at all. So I have kept the goblin just to give me a 12th man and to give me a 1-turn touchdown opportunity, and because he got the 5-star player points. I just couldn't bring myself, and the whole plan of that was to ensure that when I played my opponent, who is here, who's on 1630, that I would get a nice 200 worth of inducements, which would give me a bribe and perhaps an apothecary, so that I don't take any more cas. I'm in a bad shape, and we are looking to build for next season, as opposed to necessarily thinking we're going to win this one. Still a chance if I win this game, but that's that. So that's where we are. So the first thing I did wrong in the game was I did not win the toss. So obviously he made me bring the ball to him, which means I have to score, and he's left this guy off the pitch. This guy is movement 9, which means with one little push he can go sprinting off of the field and score in 1 turn. So that's a pain in the arse. So I need to defend against that. I need to score, defend against that, and then stop him scoring in the second half. Or if he scores, I need to score back on him. So not much to ask. So losing the kick, major problem. So my setup is all good. He kicked a bit short, which is great. Much easier for me to deal with than if he kicked long. Allow me to do a dirty pylon. Got nothing for it. I'm going to be caging in this area here is my plan. So if that hit works, then I'm safe to then come in and do this. 2 dice over here. Both my hits so far have been with block. Just a stun. A couple of stuns is not bad, but it ain't great. I decide I want to get the ball so I can re-roll it before I do the troll hit, because it lets me decide if I can safely bring this guy in. I decide not to bring him in, to bring this guy in instead. I'm not going to be fouling. So I got a bribe and an extra apothecary. And the troll gets a hit and it's a death. Hoorah! He just brought that line out. So he went up to 13 men. He bought a number of linos with his cash. Took out 13 men for this because he knew he was going to take some casualties. Or there's a good chance of it, which was good play by him. Gave away some inducements to me. So basically I'm planning to just rock upfield, beating the hell out of him on the way. It's a knockout. It's good enough. Not going to pile on that. Now he's got some guards, which makes life a bit tricky. So my patented super cage, which I did a few games ago, is good, but when the other player's got guard, it's nowhere near as good. So I'm all set up here so I'm as impenetrable as possible. He can hit the guys at the front if he wants. He can come in from the side, but he's not necessarily stopped me progressing downfield. And I just left this guy out the side here to help protect this guy a little bit. He got smashed last time. Probably going to get smashed again this time. Last turn rather. So rather than going for the classic elf screen defence, he's going for a flat line defence. Which may work, and got more guard, which foxed me a little bit. Then he left me this nice sacrifice in the front. I don't mind if I do. I don't need to move the troll this time, so why risk it? Move these guys up. And punch him in the face with a mighty blow. Again, down in place, which means I can safely pile on. Do! And move the cage up. I need to move this guy out. So this just protects the cage from being hit from this side. Not that he's likely to hit this side, but that's the side I can protect. So. So classic elf blitz to rear corner. It's not of great concern to me. It turns out it doesn't. And then fails his dodge away. So happy days. Which means I get a free hit on this guy down here if I want it. I decided to use a turn to go laterally here, which may have been a mistake. Maybe I should have kept pushing forward, but it's... and then fouled this guy. Because of the flat wall, it's harder to do. It's hoping to knock this guy down. So. Anyway, I've got a lovely foul opportunity, so I will take it. I've got a bribe. Oh, second injury. Fantastic. So my new blitzer already got 2-star player points. I thought that was a very clever move when I did it, but it's easy. 2 assists, plus dirty player, plus 3 on this. No, I get stunned. I did break armor, but I got sent off, so that's kind of annoying. Oh no, I had to use a bribe. Otherwise I would have got sent off. So again, go for the cage corner, not a surprise. It's fine, it's takes off all his players and hopefully gives me some progression forwards. Just a push, even better. And a free hit on this guy here. So I want to take it. So I think the cage can go forward this turn without too much difficulty. Let's hope I do take it forward. Yes, there we go. Will the troll play ball? It does. Fantastic. I like to use them to show up the corner that's touched. Yep, got him. Which allows me to move forward. And these guys put from the front. Strength 4 anyway. Filling everything at the back. I didn't want to foul again because I didn't really want to be without a player. And have to bring on the goblin. So I was going to foul until the bribe failed, and that was going to be it. Just a push. I'm not going to follow that. You can have those players free, I don't want to get murdered. So because of his guards, he can get a number of hits in here, which is frustrating. 2 dice on that guy. Which is the Kaz, of course it is. Glorious. This next game into no damage. It's on the subs bench now. View has changed, doesn't it? That's better. Which also lets him get a hit in here. So we got 2 hits there. I think it was 3, wasn't it? Yeah. He gets 3 hits in, which is not good for me. 1 knockdown, and I've got quite a long way to go now, so I've got to make some progress. Which means I have to put him in the cage corner to be able to. It's the only guy that has speed to get there. So I wanted to make some good forward progress this turn. It's blocked here. There was space here. It made sense to go up the right a bit. I prefer to be more central, but this gives me a lot of progress. It's the rear of the cage, it's all good. I'll make a cock up here. That was alright. I'm going to leave the troll on his own. Splits is good. Just a push. I'll re-roll that because I've got lots of re-rolls left. And not many turns left. Didn't give me anything. And then the troll failed is stupid, which is, yeah, it would have failed anyway. He's got a 1. He did a 4+ foul, didn't really touching him. Supporting him, I should say. So it's fairly easy for him to get around and get the hit on this guy, which was the danger of that plan. But luckily it's just a push. And we can get a lot of guys back to cover. I've got 2 turns left to score. I expect to have to make a dodge or GFIs to be able to score. What's this guy at the back doing? Just goal hanging, I think. I always forgot that. Luckily, he's made it easy for me to get back to the centre, which with his small number of players is hard for him to defend against. Oops, goals. And a push. Could have been better. I don't follow up because I've learnt the lesson. I want to give him 3 hits. So I really need to get one square further forward, which if I hadn't just pushed him I might have taken square forward, but as it is I now have to do at least 1 GFI. I do make a mild mistake at. Troll works, so I'll bring him around as far as he can, just a extra hit. Bring him around, he's going to get punched, but... And it's here. I do a GFI, forget that I've already used a reroll, and now block the square that I want to run through, which is frustrating. So obviously he's going to punch this guy. And he's going to set up his files of 2 to try and stop me from getting through. Because I went back central, he was quite a long way over here. He can't go far the whole way over, so at least he's not stunned, so he can be an assist. And there's blitz on this guy. So there's the assist. Come in with the Pyleon, smack in the face blitz. Make sure I don't block the square I want into. I do get him. I do follow up. And I do pile on. For nothing. And now I'm just setting up so that in the event that I fail, it's harder for him to get the ball up to this dude. So if I fail the 2 GFI, I don't have to make a dodge now, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, GFI, DFI. Which I make, thankfully. So life at this point is fantastic. 1-0 up, scored on my drive. Can he manage the 1-turn touchdown? Which is possible by a bit of cunning chain pushing. He's a few guys down, but I think he's got enough players on the pitch to do it. So I set up in my 1-turn touchdown prevention position, which arguably I get a bit wrong. Arguably, this guy here should be a strength 4 guy, so it's harder for him to get the 2 dice on him. So I think that was a mistake, and it's because I didn't want to get a Black Orc punched, but I should have put the Black Orc on the line. And arguably this guy here should have been a tackle guy. Because the side he can come down is this side. So I should have put maybe a tackle, but I didn't want to get punched. You know, if he decided he wasn't going to do, I didn't want to get my best guys punched. So the idea here is that because my guys are all over here, I force him to have to try and use this guy as his piece to push around, and then I block with as much as possible and make it really hard for him to dodge through. But he does something clever here, which is great for him. So first of all, he gets a quick... Oh, it's all gone a bit wrong. Let's watch it. There we go, that's better. So he gets a quick snap, which means he can step everybody 1 square, which really helps him because that's 1 less square he has to get up, and it lets him do this. It lets him get this guy 1 square full without having to do the chain push, which is fantastic for him. Gets the ball, manages to lob. It's great for him. That dodgy dodge, because he needed this guy here, so that was a hard thing to do, and this handoff wasn't easy. And he needs to push this guy across, and then he has to push him again to get him where he wants him. Fails, didn't get a push, gets a push, And then because he hasn't used his blitz, he can then blitz to push him out to here. Doesn't need to keep him up this time, so can knock him over. So that's progressed him up the field of the 2 squares he needed. One from the quick snap and one from the pushes, chain pushes. Now, I don't think without the quick snap he would have been able to do it. So he got a bit lucky there, the quick snap. Now all he has to do is run his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go for it, and dodge away from this guy. So if this guy had had tackle, the dodge away would have been without being able to use his ability to roll it straight. And there he goes. 3 2 pluses, all he needed. So that was a yeah, a bit annoying. 3 3 pluses, pass, yeah. So now I'm in bad shape. Because now it's his drive and it's 1 all. And so I set up to try and deny him a quick push through to score fast. Oh, I've already missed it. Let's start the start, shall we? He gets another reroll, which is not ideal for me. He's got 4 rerolls. I mean, elves are dangerous enough. 4 rerolls. His block doesn't work. That's good. It means I get hit back. And he's not doing LOS hits, which is good for me as well. I mean, technically he could have done, but it was an awful lot of commitment. So he's just defending. And he's going to do a few passes around the backfield for a few turns. And I've got a bit of a quandary here, because, you know, I want to win this game. But if I pursue downfield trying to get to the ball when he's defending like he is, he's going to be able to get around the edges and then just lob a pass, and I'm going to lose this game. So, frustratingly, did I do the right thing? You know, so what I do is I come in to get the hit here and just progress the guys forward. And, you know, if he'd ever failed a roll and dropped the ball, maybe I'd have done something different, but as it is, I'm just... Break armour, but no injury. So just a stun. So I've stunned that guy. Skulls. Just a push. Push that guy. I figure this needs shoring up a little bit. So I can bring this guy back to the centre. So in case he does some dodgy elf shenanigans, I've got the guy in the centre. Again, he's just building his defensive wall. Getting his 1 blitz in. Which, if I had them flat, he couldn't have done. I do notice his guards all the way over here, so I get a bit more aggressive on the right in future turns. Yeah, at the moment, it's really hard for him to get round while I'm keeping it nice and flat like this. But the minute I start chasing the ball, gaps will appear and you can get round, so I do decide to do a little bit of a more aggressive type stuff. Keeping a punch in the centre here. And I'm just really hoping for removal. Just without the speed, I mean he's movement 6s and movement 7s, and it's just really hard for me. I'm just hoping for an extra hit from the troll here if he doesn't manage to dodge away. The guy doesn't have dodge, so might even soak a reroll. He's still got 4. Ends it off, lobs it back. And the reason for that is he gets a star player point every time he lobs one. He wants to get these guys leveled up. So I decided to go a little bit more aggressive because he hasn't got the guard. The guard's stuck over there. So by doing this, putting my guard in the middle, he's having to dodge away, so I've got a chance of getting some free hits there. I might as well have the first free hit just to push, otherwise they knocked him down next to me. So that's frustrating. Maybe I could have stepped these guys forward, but if the troll fails then I've got a weak spot. So maybe I could have stepped forward on the left, you know, it's just hard to play because at the moment, you know, he's doing this because he can. Because he can score in a couple of turns whenever he feels like it. And if any of these had failed, I'd have really gone in hard, but none of them did. So he's bored me into submission. Because you know me, I'm very impetuous. I don't just want to sit in a... That was a mistake. I don't know why I did that. Should have left it as it was, that line. I think I was planning to use this guy for something but never did. No, nothing. Bring that guy forward within blitzing range. It's impossible to get through a file of two without a double blitz unless you're already touching. So I decided just to send one guy around just to put him under a bit of pressure because he's only got 5 turns. He's got 4 turns now. He's got to do something. But of course that gives him the opportunity to do shit, and maybe setting this up wrong was a mistake as well. But now he can suddenly get a guy around the corner. Possibly 2 if he dodges this guy away. And now he's got a guy through there as well because of this cock-up. So that's annoying. I've let 2 guys through, due to mistakes really. I didn't mind them all coming in one side because I can go and hit them, but letting them in both sides was definitely a mistake. So that's my own stupid fault. Because I had the perfect line, I could have just kept it up, you know, he's not a guard there to bust it. Yeah, I really wish I'd done it differently, so this guy wouldn't have got through. I now think I'm making another mistake now. I can hit this guy, but I decided to go for the guy on the other side instead, even though he's got all the support this side. There we are. Got them pinned down. Yeah, I should have blitzed this guy. You know, just obvious to me now. But instead, I figure if I can get this guy down, maybe I can go and tag the ball or something. Put him under enough pressure back here. But it's just not right. This guy should have been here, stopping him getting through. It's all just a fuck up, really. Mistakes were made for sure, because he's got an easy way out. He can just run through here, give it to this guy, give it to this guy, fuck off downfield, and I've got literally nobody can stop him. And that's just frustrating that I've let him do that. Just through what are now obvious mistakes, but at the time it was far from obvious to me. So now he's got that guy down there. Bring this guy in and hit this guy. And I just, you know, can't even reach him. This guy's way out of position. So by letting this guy through here, it led to me making a bad decision about coming here when I could have come here and hit his guy. So just bad mistake. And I was doing so well. And of course, none of his dodges are going to fail in a million years. So I figure, well, if I can force him to score on his next turn, I've got a 2-turn score opportunity. So let's do our best to force him to score. Which means getting these guys over. So I think I might as well hit him. Shitty dice roll, another shitty dice roll. Put him in the middle. Because that doesn't stop me from being able to hit him, albeit with GFIs. Get this guy in. GFI. Now he's quite central, so he can be the support. Get this guy in as well. He's good for being the support. And I figured, well, I might as well go foul him, because if it works, I can then rebuild 2 guys afterwards, and you know, can't do anything else with that guy. I get a stun, but I get sent off, so that ends my turn. So, not that these guys are going to do a lot anyway, but because it's really his decision is, does he score or not? And because I've got 3-3 players, yeah, he can do some dodging. He thinks about it for a long time and then he scores. So I've got 2 turns to score back, but it's not easy against a fast team like Elves. And, again, so I've got the option of the troll lob, which I want to keep live. But then I also want to send guys up the side. So, I do the best I can, but obviously I get something wrong because on me. So I'm set up so the little guy's next to the troll, so the troll can lob him. So he's got to think about that. And everybody's able to run up the side here, punch this guy, get 2 guys forward within scoring range. And it's just a matter of can I get the ball. And the key thing is, he ends up putting his kick guy on the line of scrimmage because he kind of has to because he's one of his least bad players. He doesn't want to get anybody else punched. And then this stupid guy catches it here with a 6. I mean, come on. If he hadn't catched it, it would have been... If he hadn't caught it, catched it, it would have been fine. But no, he caught it. Because then it would have been touchback, which would have been glorious. Well, good job. So that kind of scuppered me a little bit. So I'm going to have to at least do a handoff. And then, by this point, if I push these 2 guys forward, it's really easy for them to shut them down. And I have to make this a 3 dice, I reckon. Because I'm in real stum because he's got the ball, so I've got to get him away. So that really wrecks me. At this point I've already pretty much decided I'm going for the troll throw. Because, it's just funny. So I do pile on here. The better move would have been to... If I wanted to score with these, would have been to keep him up here somewhere. Irrelevant. I mean, I still can do it, because one's got guard, but... So the 3 dice, which I felt was necessary, in it comes. Gets me a cast, that's a couple of star player points, glorious. I could have followed up, and then I could have followed up with the... what's his name? Goblin to be 1 square closer. Who's got a guard in, so he can punch one of these guys. But he is also setting up to try and reduce my chance of this working. He gets him down, which is not great. But he also stuns him, which means I can now not just step him in and blitz out. So I'm kind of in a bit of trouble there. And again, he couldn't have got around the back here had this guy been up. That's not a problem, it's not, I can't get rid of him. But... So I'll make this blitz a 3 dice. 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess I need to reroll for other stuff. Push. That does nothing. So now I'm going to do a handoff to the little dude, which works. And the troll throw. He goes stupid. I'll re-roll it. And he's still bloody stupid. I failed the loner reroll. So that's annoying. So I'm done. I mean, technically, if I think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could have handed off to him and then tried to run him up the side. I could have done that, but the odds are so low. And the odds are quite high of him getting injured, so I'm just better off taking the punches, I think. I want to move this guy in for an assist, and obviously the fans. This is his injured guy, and killing him would do him a favour. Send off. Of course I am. 2 fouls, 2 send-offs. And that's it, a 2-1 loss, which is my season wasn't done last week, it really is done now. But a little bit of development on the team, which is great. If we look at the star player points, Galk, the dirty player guard guy got 5. That's a bit of a waste. One of the new guys got 2. Another one of the new guys got 3. So they're both in good shape for getting levelled in the next game if we can. Might be able to level them both. Passing a touchdown, passing a touchdown. And Triton got 4 for 2 cows, so good for him. He's developing. I'd like to get guard on him. But yeah, basically it's all over. It's all over for me in my season, which is a great shame, but such is life. If we look at the leaderboard before this week's games, I'm way down here. And my loss is not going to help me. I'm going to be bouncing along the bottom. Next week I play average office team, Dark Elves, who again, Punk's Not Dead aren't particularly great, although he played pretty well, so, you know, maybe they're just unlucky. I haven't seen anything great from average office teams, so, you know, again, it should be a punch fest. Then I'm going to take on the Skaven. They might cas me a bit, but again, if I keep my TV low, theirs is quite high, then I'll be able to get an extra Apo maybe and prevent further death, which is pretty much what I'm playing for. Then I've got to play the Yellow Yokies, who I think are pretty shockingly bad. So that should, and another, you know, elf team, so that's great. And then the last one against the Undead, Dead Apo Dead, which is probably the most dangerous game for me. But I mean, even in that game, I took a miss next game if I hadn't Apo'd it. So the extra Apo was not needed. So I could have had 2 bribes, which would have been more useful. But anyway, that's it. I'll do a quick bit of editing and get it pushed up. See you next week.